In this video, we're talking about holding your shots for 10 seconds. Yes, it'll feel like an eternity, but it's the only way to get usable footage that is actually long enough for you to be able to edit. The only reason for not holding a shot for 10 seconds is because you notice a moment happening or something much more important going on and need to break away to go get that. And yes, 10 seconds feels long, even to me. And you know, I've been shooting video for a long time. When you're shooting in the field, you want to frame your shot, hit record, and count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and so on, because actually saying that is about 1 second long. If you simply just count numbers in your head silently, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll actually say them each in a fraction of a second instead of an actual 1 second each, because you just naturally count faster in your head than you count out loud. And in most cases, you actually won't want to count out loud because you don't want your voice to be picked up by your external mic and pollute all of your natural sound. So that's why saying 1 Mississippi in your head silently gives you something longer that's actually a second each and every time. Now let's break down those 10 seconds and why those 10 seconds are so important. The first 2 seconds are probably shaky because you're either holding the camera handheld and need to stabilize, or the camera is on the tripod, but what you may not know is the camera shakes a little bit when you hit the record button, and so it takes the camera a second or two to stop shaking. The same goes for the last 2 seconds. Hitting the record button, you're gonna still get that same shake. So when you look at this 10 seconds graphically all laid out, the first 2 seconds is just simply trash. And the last 2 seconds, well, that's trash too. And that leaves the middle 6 seconds as actual usable footage. And of that 6 seconds, yeah, you're probably only going to use 3 seconds of it because no shot, unless it's moving or interesting, should be longer than 3 seconds. The 3-second rule is sort of a generalized / universal rule for editing simple shots. You may hear some professionals call these 3-second shots wallpaper because the video's boring. There's nothing going on in the shot and there's nothing moving. So it might as well be a picture or some kind of boring wallpaper that of course you would wallpaper your walls with. So you may be asking now, well, if I'm only using 3 seconds of this, why are you having me get 6 of it? Well, here's why. Because there'll be days where you don't shoot enough B-roll. It's not that you didn't want to, it's that there's only so much to shoot. So you may actually need that whole 6 seconds. And if you're thinking the pacing of that piece is going to be slow, you're right. The thing here is, at least the piece still made air. And this is the beauty behind the 10-second rule. And the reason for breaking it is just as beautiful. Because if you're covering a moment or something that has motion, you're going to edit that shot into your package for as long as the shot, the moment, the emotion lasts. And the duration of that moment is probably much longer than 3 seconds. But because your shot had motion, because it was interesting, because it was emotional to the viewer, it's gonna feel a lot shorter than what it is. I know it's crazy, but it's the way that it always works. So the 10-second rule will definitely serve you well. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll see you in the next video.